Y'all, I be having some weird gym experiences.
Good morning. Just thought I'd quickly share some of the things I'm starting my day off with. So I've been doing good with my gym routine, and it's time for me to go ahead and make sure I get my protein in. So I have this protein powder, and then I also have a multivitamin. Lately, for some reason, I don't know if it's like the allergies, pollen, whatever, but I've been finding myself getting a little bit sick off and on, so hopefully this will help me get back in shape. I do take this often, but just not consistent, and that's my problem. And then I wanted to try creatine. I do love the Bloom brand. I've never tried creatine before, so I'm hoping that this will just kind of help me tone up and then also improve my muscle recovery because I've been struggling with that. And then I have my Mary Ruse. My hair grows naturally to the middle of my back, and then after that it just gets lazy. So hopefully this will help me overcome that. And then my mushroom coffee. A lot of you guys were asking me, like, does this work? Yes, it does. It does work. It does really good with decreasing bloating and, just helping with your metabolism, energy. Also decreases like face puffiness. It does work. I will say that. It doesn't taste all that great, if you ask me. And this is the real brand, okay? I feel like the aftertaste has like this mushroomy taste. But, it is mushroom coffee, so what do you expect? I just try to add a lot of creamer to my coffee. And after a while, it becomes like an acquired taste. You just kind of get over it. My problem is that I like the coffee bean taste that comes from like regular coffee, but I don't want the, caffeine crash. But no, this is really good. Healthy coffee. I do recommend this brand. All right, y'all. So I need some lotion on my hands. I'm gonna put some lotion on my hands. But I wanted to show you guys really quick. I'm getting ready to make a protein smoothie. So like I said, I have my Oregon. I really don't know. I picked this out from Sam's Club because it's organic. Organic pea protein, organic acai, organic brown rice. I don't even know if I said acai right. Is it acacia? Acacia? What is that? I don't know. But it looks like it's going to be healthy. Organic mung bean, organic chia seeds. Okay, so I can get into it. I heard that a lot of the whey protein is made out of crickets. Is that true? They crush up crickets, and that is where the whey protein comes from. And so I don't know, ever since I heard that, I just was like, so I think that's why I chose to go organic. But we'll see. I'm about to go put some lotion on my hands really quick, and then I can get started. I'm going to blend this up, and I have some frozen fruit that I'm going to put in it, and I also have some bananas that I'm going to add to it. So yeah, BRB. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's get into making this protein smoothie. So I have my NutriBullet. I'm not sure if putting lotion on my hands was the smartest thing to do before I started this, because now I feel like my cup has lotion in it. So start over. But if I don't go ahead and record something, I'm not gonna record nothing. And I've been struggling to put out content. I think I've just been overthinking this whole vlog thing. And then feeling a little bit, what's the word for it? Paranoid about stalkers, because I have dealt with that before. So, and I'm really big on my privacy. So, let me show y'all what I'm using.
forget that that's the process of this, right? I have a bag of frozen fruit that I get from Sam's Club, and they come in like these packages. I have to get another bag. I'm almost out of this. Goodness. Whew. Down to the bottom of the bag. But they come in like these frozen fruit packages, and I like it because they're already pre-portioned by the serving, and it's really good for like when you need to make a quick smoothie. You've just got everything already in the bag, pre-portioned out. But the kind that I got is pineapple, a blend of pineapple, strawberries, peaches, and mangoes. Some bananas to my smoothie. And you're probably like, Portia girl, how are you going to even blend the smoothie up? Because I don't see no blender. It's coming. And I also have some milk that I'm going to add. So I have my blender here. And this is really, really, really hard. Like I feel like I can't even get it out the bag and my hands are freezing. So what are some of the things that you feel like the Lord is dealing with you on? Like for your personal development, your character development? I'll go first. I feel like I am in a season where the Lord is really trying to get my character to be more Christ-like. I guess that's like for every season, right? But yeah, I definitely feel that in this season. And I'm being kind of stretched outside of my comfort zone. I think that I struggle a little bit with like perfectionism and just like wanting for everything to be perfect. And I am kind of learning to let go. I'm learning to let go of my sense of control. I also had to repent because I recognized that that need for me wanting to control everything was just another way that Jezebel spirit was trying to creep back. Now, I know y'all probably like, now she's talking about Jezebel spirit and she's standing here in a whole little workout outfit. But I personally don't feel convicted about my gym apparel. I have gone through the conviction when it comes to my gym apparel. And the way that I'm being convicted right now is to, you know, cover up my chest more and to like not wear like the booty shorts. So I've had like my gym convictions, and I recognize that it's a process of sanctification. Not to say that the Lord won't convict me more, but I feel like, you know, what I am wearing right now is fine. Now, I will say that I am starting to become one of those girlies who will like take my jacket off and put my jacket around my waist whenever I am doing squats and things like that to cover my pump. Because let me tell you what happened to me the other day I was at the gym. I'm getting sidetracked because I was supposed to be talking about what the Lord is working with me on, character of Christ, all that stuff. Y'all, while was I in the gym, there's typically a lot of guys that's in there because it's like, I guess like the weight room, the hard weight room. And I need weights whenever I work out. I can't just, you know, just work out and, you know, be on some little 5-pound dumbbells or whatever they call it. That's not me, honey. Throw me that 70 pounds, that 80 pounds, especially on leg day. I can go up to 100. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just me. Needless to say, hold up. This smells like vanilla. It is vanilla bean. It smells so good. But anywho, I was getting self-conscious because as I'm working out, I noticed that like the back part of my pants were, you know, starting to just come down just a little bit or whatever. Nothing that was ridiculous, nothing that was like showing any body parts or anything like that, but it was just like a little lower than the way that it normally would. So I began to feel so self-conscious. So I stand up and I'm trying to like, you know, I want to adjust myself, but I don't want to draw attention to me. So the Holy Spirit prompts me to take my jacket off and to cover my waist. So I did. And I don't know, you know, like some girls, they like that type of attention. I was talking to my sister about it. She was like, you know, they probably was thinking like, you know, you're one of those girls who may like that type of attention or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm the opposite. I get really uncomfortable. Y'all, I be having some weird gym experiences. So I was in the gym the other day with my cousin. So we're doing abs, and they have like this machine that you can, it's not really a machine, but it's kind of a machine, whatever. It's like where you can do like your pull-ups and stuff. I'm not a pull-up girly. I have not mastered that, but you can like use it and you can like do crunches. Like I really need to work on my tummy area. Okay, so let me show you guys what I just did. I just put in my multivitamin. So here's my multivitamin that I just put in. This is Longevity. It's a multivitamin, mineral complex, sugar-free, gluten-free, whole foods, non-GMO ingredients made with organic and non-GMO ingredients. So it's a dietary supplement. Longevity. I get it from my grandmother. She is a nurse. She's a retired nurse, and she likes to like purchase like a lot of these wellness products, vitamins, all the things, and so she always gives me this, and she made a little note on it. That's her cursive. It says mix with H2O or juice, or make a smoothie with your favorite ice cream. So she is so beautiful inside out. She looks good, and I'm just like, honey, let me take my vitamins so I can look as good as grandma does when I'm her age, okay? But yeah, so anywho, okay, so this day, another weird gym story. I was in the gym with my cousin, and so we're doing abs. So nothing weird is going on here. We're doing abs. She's like on this crunch machine. I'm on like this pull up thing where I'm like standing here and I pull my legs up and I'm doing my crunches. This guy comes. He's all like, can I work in with you guys? And first of all, fellas, it's weird. It's weird if you see girls that are working out. You can tell that we're in our zone. We're having girl time. And then you ask if you can work in with us. That's just weird. So I was just like thinking, I don't know why in my mind I'm thinking, okay, he wants to use this machine. And so I just look at him and I'm like, oh, we're not done yet. And he was like, oh, it's okay, never mind. And I was like, but you can use it after we're finished. And then he just started to ignore me. And I was thinking, well, maybe he didn't hear me. And my cousin was like, well, maybe he didn't hear me either. So I was like, excuse me, you can use it after we're done. Because, you know, I didn't want to be rude. It didn't dawn on me what he was doing with that question, like he was trying to holler or something. I don't know, it went over my head. I can be a little bit oblivious when people are trying to flirt with me. That's because I'm really not like a flirtatious person, so I'm just kind of oblivious to it. Yeah, so the guy, he just starts ignoring, and I kind of pick up he had this attitude, and I was like, okay. So we just continue, we mind our business, so on and so forth. Okay. So now I'm getting ready to add in my Bloom creatine. I've never had creatine before. So this will be my first time trying it. And the reason why I'm trying the creatine is because my muscle recovery, oh my God, I'm so tired of just struggling, literally struggling the next day with my muscle recovery. It just feels like I'm not recovering as quick as I was when I was in my 20s. You know what I'm saying? A girl in her 30s now. So, need a little help. So, I'm hoping that this can help with that. So, it says that it aids in muscle recovery and it improves strength and cognitive function. I could definitely use improvement on the cognitive function because, yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm a little spacey. And that probably has a lot to do with the caffeine. Anywho, so I kind of picked up that the guy was being a little rude when I was just trying to let him know, like, hey, you can use the machine after us. I didn't say anything, you know, we just kept working out. The next day, I go back to the gym, and I just so happened to go into this area that he was in, didn't even pay attention to him, didn't even notice him, did not recognize that he was there or anything. And he walks up to me and he goes, hey, I just want to apologize. I was so rude to you the other day. He was like, you know, I was being a word. He used the A word. He was like, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that. And then he goes on to introduce himself. And I was just like, okay, no worries. You know, thank you. My name is Portia or whatever. And he was like, okay, cool. So, yeah. Sometimes the gym can be weird. I'm really not sure if this is supposed to go in here with the rest of this concoction that I'm making, but I just figured might as well add all the ingredients in here at one time. So we'll see. I feel like I have to screw this down in there. How many times a day am I supposed to be taking this creatine? I need help. Like, gym girlies, if y'all are out there, let me know if I'm taking this the wrong way. You're gonna have to say, girl, let me help you out. This is how you're supposed to do it. I don't know, I've never done this before. I just read about it. I read about the benefits. I'm a fan of the Bloom brand. I feel like I have to keep twisting this down. Oh, there we go. Okay, and again, I am being a health nut these days. So this is Bloom creatine. It is non-GMO, gluten-free, and vegan-friendly. All right, so that's that. Where was I going with this story? Okay, so I was done with the gym story. Now I'm back on what is it that the Lord is developing with me when it comes to the character of Christ. And I was saying how I got off onto that rabbit hole. I was talking about me letting go of the need to control, like wanting to have everything perfected. And I recognized that need of wanting to control things that comes from I gotta add my milk. That comes from like a Jezebel spirit, wanting to control things, and just really, I'm a really big fan of the word surrender, and there's so many lessons that I'm learning within that. So the Lord kind of had to rebuke me, like, girl, you need to let me help you out. Like, you cannot plan your life down to the T and just think that I'm going to go along with your plans. Because I was seriously, like, when they talk about writing out your goals, I take that serious. Like, I write down my goals and I will plan my life out to the T. And then I have been rebuked because I would do all of that, and then afterwards I would ask the Holy Spirit to lead me on these plans that I made down to the T. And he's like, you never even consulted me or asked me about these plans before you start writing them all over your calendar and looking to execute them. So I have had to let go of that control, and I've renounced and denounced that, and the Lord was dealing with me like that's another way that the Jezebel spirit tries to come back. Now that's something that the Lord has delivered me from, and that was like back in the day. When I say back in the day, I mean like 3-4 years ago. And that was something that when God delivered me from the Jezebel spirit, I knew that I was getting delivered from it because it meant that spirit manifested within a dream. And it was so weird because like I saw a woman, and she was like this Middle Eastern looking woman, and she had this brown skin, and she was not dressed. Okay, she didn't have on no clothes. She was naked, but her face was like ugly, but her body was like what she was putting on for show. And I was like in this cage with her. This is a weird dream. I remember this dream, but I was like in this cage with her, and I was fighting her off of me. And it was like she was trying to, now this is gross because I don't go, but it was gross, but because it was like, it felt like she was trying to come on to me. At the same time, it felt like she was trying to possess me. It was the weirdest dream ever. So I'm in this cage with Jezebel, who's naked, and I'm fighting for my life. And I'm wearing clothes. Like, why she ain't got no clothes on? Like, it's weird. But I was fighting for my life in this dream. So I'm like whooping her tail, and then finally, like, I get free. I get out of the cage. And, when I woke up, I already knew, like, the Holy Spirit was, like, dealing with me on, like, I'm having to deliver you from a whole lot of things. And I had this dream back in like 2022, 2023, and And that's when I really got serious on my walk with the Lord. So, anywho, we've got all of these ingredients all mixed up in here. We've got a little nice concoction. I've got some more fruit in case I need it. It's gonna end up coming out looking like it is a ice cream before it looks like a smoothie. So that's gonna let me know whether or not if I need to like add like more milk or whatever the case might be. Or I might just decide to add a little bit of water. So we'll see. Where we are with it. Okay, so this is the consistency of the smoothie. It kind of looks like ice cream right now. It kind of puts me in mind of like a really thick ice cream. So I want it to be, oh my goodness, that is so good. And it's like, with this, I can definitely taste the citrus peach fusion. I can definitely taste the citrus peach fruit. Whatever. I can definitely taste the citrus peach fusion. But it's really, really good, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like I need to like water it down just a little bit, because otherwise it's going to drink like ice cream. I don't want it to drink like ice cream. Is that even a thing? Drink like ice cream. Anywho, so I'm sorry, this is rude. But anywho, so I'm thinking I'm gonna add, not more milk, I'm gonna add some water. I know y'all like, ew, that's gross, you're gonna add water? Yes, I'm gonna add water. I'm getting distracted. Y'all, I don't know what this channel is gonna be. I don't know what it's gonna be about. So right now, this first episode is just, honey, just make the content. Just make the content, just put it out there. I can't promise that my life is always gonna be like super exciting, have all these things going on. I'm a pretty laid back girl. So I don't know what it's gonna be, but I'm just gonna do this. And I have to like get out of my own head with feeling like things have to be perfect or have to have the right aesthetic background. I may have an aesthetic background, I may not. I don't know. We'll see. So my smoothie ice cream has gotten in the blender. Did you guys ever watch Chicken Run? The movie Chicken Run when you were a kid? That was like one of my favorite movies as a kid. And there's this part, y'all are probably like, this girl is ADHD. But no, there's this part of Chicken Run where the chickens go, oh no, they've got ginger. And it was so funny to me. Like that became like the hook. Me and my cousins would like randomly say that. To this day, if I go up to one of my cousins and I say that, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So anytime I say like, oh no, it makes me think of that movie. And it also makes me think of, so let me tell you guys a little bit about my background. I was a clinical specialist, work with kids on the autism spectrum. I am a school counselor. I have my master's degree in counselor education. And your girl is a PhD candidate for getting her PhD in counselor education. So doctor in the making, yes. With that being said, when I was a clinical specialist, one of the girls that I work with, she was the cutest little thing, but she would throw these little tantrums, and she would kick her legs back and she would go, oh no, no. And it was the cutest little things. So some words that I say, some phrases that I say, it like triggers those memories. The sweetest. I really enjoyed working with them. Hated my job. You know, that's how it is. You know, I live in the South, so as much as people try to make it seem like, oh, racism it does exist. I dealt with racism and I hated it. So there's that. Now I work as a school counselor. I truly do enjoy working as a school counselor. It is one of the things that brings me joy. It brings me joy. The kiddos that I work with are absolutely amazing. Yeah, love my job. I also have my real estate license. I'm a realtor. So, oh yeah, that was something else I planned on doing with you guys on these vlogs. We'll go look at some houses. So, yeah. Let me do one more round of a blend. I was telling this girl that I work with, I was out one weekend just looking at houses, and she was like, wait, you just go looking at houses? And I was like, yeah, I'm a realtor, so I like to just go look at houses and see what's on the market. And it's been a while since I have had like that desire to go look at houses. I've been so focused with my school counseling career that I've sort of placed real estate on the back burner, and it's become like a part-time thing. And lately I do feel that pull where I just feel like, okay, I feel like the Lord is leading me to get back active and get back, you know, in the field. And that's one of the things that I do love about real estate, because I can return back to the field and nobody's going to be looking at me like, where you been? You know, like the weird music. So somebody took, 6 months off, like whatever. Nobody looks at you like that. The minute that I start promoting, hey, I'm accepting clients, I'm back, people just start hitting me up and I'm like, oh yeah, you're back, okay, great, I'm looking for this, da, 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 da. Sometimes we just need a break. And I love real estate because it offers me the flexibility like I've never had. There's been times where, it's been hard. It is, one thing I can say, I've done real estate full-time for 3 years, and I feel like I needed to experience that point in my life. I did not have no other job. It was just real estate. And when I tell you, there is nothing that will grow your faith like being an entrepreneur, because you are literally depending on the Lord for provision. It's like, and then sometimes clients can be so finicky. Sometimes like they do things where it's like, girl, or like, are you serious? Like, why are you gonna go buy a car and we're supposed to close tomorrow? Why do you feel like you have to go buy all this furniture and put it on your credit card and we're supposed to close next week? Or what do you mean that you spent your closing funds on Christmas presents for your kids? The house itself is the Christmas present for your kids. And okay, so now you want me to cut down my commission so that you could pay your closing funds. It's like, I have jumped through so many hoops and I have bent over backwards, and I honestly got burnt out. I will say I got burnt out. And doing it for 3 years, I enjoyed the flexibility. I enjoyed like just being able to get up and just have my schedule to do what I want to do. You have to like have a lot of discipline when you are an entrepreneur. My faith had to be on another level. I mean, there was times where I'm literally writing in my prayer journal and I'm crying, tears crying, because I'm like, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to pay, my rent. I don't know how I'm going to pay, my bills. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get groceries. Like, it was like that, just like praying for a deal to close. Now, when a deal does close, hey, it's a celebration, because you do get paid a lot of money at one time. So that can be a reward, because you can get paid, like a lot of money. I'm just going to say that. You can get paid a lot of money at one time, but you have to budget that money, because you can't necessarily count on or guarantee that the next deal is going to close when it's time to close, because anything can happen. And so there's like this rule of thumb where you really don't count that money until it's in your account. Even though I will still be trying to count the money before it's in my account. Like, honey, I'm using my faith. Please don't let nothing happen to this deal. But after a while, that got really exhausting for me. And I got burnt out, and I began to pray for more stability with it. I wanted a career where I could be able to have stability, but I also did not want to stop doing real estate. I still wanted to do my real estate, but I wanted to have more stability. So that's where school counseling came in. And that's just my personal life story. You know, somebody else's, they may feel like, nah, I love real estate and it's stable for me. And honey, more power to you. I'm glad that it is. But for me, it was not. And I've had my real estate license since 2017, and it has never been that way. It's always just been something where it's like up and down, up and down, up and down. And I've always said, like, I'm not that type of person. Like, there are some people that do great at real estate, and they do great at real estate. Look at the thickness. Can y'all see this? Now, it's more like a smoothie. Goodness. But that is so good. So good. I got it like this with this texture because I can like drink it while I am doing my walk today. But what was I saying? Yeah. So if some people are like, it's great for them, it's stability for them, it 100% can be. Some people are like a hustler, like they have that hustle mindset. They can go out there, they can hustle, and they live for the hustle. Like that's their thing. I'm not a hustler. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not a hustler. I'm not a go out there and hit the ground and knock on doors and cold call, get cursed out. Maybe they'll show you love, maybe they won't. Like, I'm not that type of person. Matter of fact, it hurts my feelings for me to cold call people and them to hang up in my face. I will cry. Just saying. Like, so that's not me. So a lot of the business that I get with real estate, it's referrals. And it's people that are vetted. I've also just dealt with, like, you know, men will try to use my business to come at me. And so I've had to seriously vet that out as well. Like, sir, I'm gonna need you to have proof of funds or a pre-approval letter, because this ain't that. Okay? This ain't that. I told y'all I'm not like a flirty person. I'm just what we doing? Like, I have to really like you for me to flirt. I'm just not one of those people who's just flirting with people casually. Like, nah, that's not me. I can be very whimsy, but flirtatious and just, you know, batting the eyes and doing all of that for a guy that I don't really like that, absolutely not. Or just for a guy that I don't care, even if he is attractive. Like, okay, there's a lot of people that's attractive. Like, what else do you have going about yourself? I don't know. Like, I just gotta be, I don't know. It takes a lot for me to like a person. Probably like. With that being said, I've had to like vetting out between like who's a serious buyer, who's not a serious buyer. If this person using my business just to try to get close to me, and that's typically like for men, having to vet out men. And then with listings, like going to go and get the listing, having to just put myself out there and build the relationships with the people who are friendly. And, you know, sometimes you have to get hung up on, or people kind of are a little bit rude to you. And that right there can be very discouraging. So, but I did it. That's my truth. I did it for 3 years full time before I started doing school counseling. And now I do school counseling alongside real estate. People in the industry would say I'm doing it part-time. That's cool. I don't have to do it full-time. I'm working on my PhD right now. So there's that. Yeah, so now I'm going to get ready to leave the house. I want to make sure that I take my Mary Ruth. So I've got my smoothie. My smoothie has all of the ingredients in it that I was showing you guys. And now it's time for my Mary Ruth. So you're supposed to just like take a tablespoon like that and this is for healthy hair growth. So I guess I should show you guys maybe in, let's say, 6 months where my results are. My hair at this time, it's like right here. And I really want to get it longer, and I want it to like retain, because I think my struggle right now is with split ends, and then I also just like want to retain my length more. So yeah, and I would love for it to thicken up. So hopefully this works. That is good. That is good. Okay, Mary. Let's take the shackles off my feet so I can dance. All right, so I'm out. Peace out.